Hello and welcome to the White Trash Voltaire podcast. I'm your host, Caleb, aka Brilliant Dynamite's Neon, saying that much like this podcast, if it ain't flashy and in high style, what's the point? I have with me my co-host, the man who best represents the idea that is the White Trash Voltaire, Matthew Vehemity, and also Sam is here somewhere. Today we also have a special guest, Sam's wife, Stephanie. How's everybody doing?
Mojito!
Doing okay.
Hi, caramba.
All right. Well, so what's going on, guys? What's everybody drinking?
Mojito.
Yeah, I thought I made that very clear.
Well,
we
you know,
rewind, replay
Out of
wet-
red solo cups.
Out of red, yeah, that's very notable.
from
Solo
Aldi.
cups.
They're not even real red Solo cups. We went super cheapo.
they look like solo cups. They
They're
got
not.
they got the little diamond pattern and everything. I'm sorry. The listeners can't see the cups. So I'm just trying to describe them. They're red. They've got diamond pattern. They look kind of like solo cups. I believe they were solo cups. So anyway, I am drinking a delicious Hoegaarden Belgian wit beer. I was drinking a Sierra Nevada Kellerweis Hefeweizen from California, but
Wow.
I drank the whole thing, trying to get this set up. So anyway, that's good.
So how's
What
it going
else?
in Arkansas? Outside of
Oh,
that beer
yeah.
that we also have here. What's going on up there?
Okay.
Down there.
So I moved to Arkansas. That happened.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so okay.
It's a place.
I like it. It's like warmer here. It's great. I like it.
Pretty warm up here too.
Yeah, but it's like warmer here. Like however warm it is up there, it's warmer here. By like 10 to 15 degrees consistently. So, it's pretty great.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know anything about Arkansas.
It's south of Indiana.
Oh, that filled in every blank that I possibly had. Thank you for that.
So what are you trying to what are you getting at, Matthew?
I am getting at that I am Arkansas ignorant.
Okay.
So is everyone in Arkansas.
Oh.
Is there anything that you would like to know about Arkansas? Because I can
Who's your
give you
president?
Who is your leader of Arkansas?
right now there's Governor Mike Beebe. He sucks.
Phoebe?
Yeah, he sucks. He sucks. Sorry to any of our
Has he jumped the
Arkansas
gun?
listeners who like Mike Beebe, but he sucks. So, what did you say, Matt?
I said, does he jump the gun? Because his name.
For our listeners, Matt's referring to the fact that there's a thing called a BB gun out there. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys can follow along.
I always think of Butterfinger BBs actually first.
Oh, man,
before
the
BB
90s.
guns.
Seriously.
Yeah, I miss them. They got replaced by Butterfinger Minis, which are
Not as good.
not as
Yeah.
good. Like how? It's the same.
And also not sponsored by Bart Simpson.
In theory, it's the same thing. It's Butterfinger in a smaller package, but it's just that they're not as good. It's the chocolate. It's like actual Butterfinger chocolate now instead of whatever the shiny, delicious
Like the malt
round
chocolate.
Yeah, it was like Whopper chocolate
Yeah.
around a Butterfinger core, and it was delicious.
I think we need to change subject. You're making my diabetes sad.
Oh yeah, since the last
It's
podcast,
pre-diabetes.
Matt got pre-diabetes. That
Yep,
happened. We didn't
hangovers
know
last
that.
the whole day. Is it sad that that's the most notable thing I've gotten from this whole experience?
Yes, that is sad. You should shame your life.
So is there any way that you could like be really good for a while and not be pre-diabetes anymore?
I mean, I'm really not doing anything unhealthy.
I'm just saying like be really good.
I don't really drink that much.
What is pre-diabetes?
Diabetes.
It's kind of like onset diabetes, and it takes form of like hypoglycemia, sort of.
So should you be drinking that drink that Stephanie made you?
It's not a problem.
It's giving me.
Alcohol turns to sugar. You know
It does.
that, right?
I'm aware. I will be fine. I might be a little stiff tomorrow, but I'll live.
Well,
This ain't my first rodeo, kids.
what was your first rodeo?
I was-
Your face is red.
I was 13.
For those of for our audience
No.
members, you can see Caleb's face is red.
It's
Somebody's-
my light.
He's got no hair.
Oh,
It's white balance.
Oh, okay.
My,
What's the beer have to do with it?
oh no, it's just, my hand is holding the beer. I'm just saying it's white balance. My camera does weird things sometimes in this room.
What color's the room for real?
It's white.
Is it?
Oh,
Because
it's
it's
yellow.
yellow.
it is.
in the-
It is very yellow
Yeah.
on our end.
Yeah. So
But you
there you
can-
go.
This is very awkward for the listeners.
Yeah. Well, no, they can use their imaginations.
Imagination.
Okay, so guys, we need to get on track with podcast related things. So, has anybody got any interesting, fun little stories or anecdotes to say
no.
about what happened between the recording of this podcast and the last one, which was a
Sam had
substantial
lazy
amount of
eye.
time? Secret.
Yep. Apparently, Sam has a lazy eye.
Okay. Yeah.
I work just as good as other eyes.
It's an underachiever.
Okay.
Caleb's sister were here, she would totally get it. His eyes flickered.
What does that
They
mean?
flickered.
Okay. I feel like that we're really straying into topics that our listeners probably don't know about. We need to
I could explain if you'd like. to
course
go on.
correction. Hey, what's going on, guys? Done any interesting things lately? Any interesting life events happen besides me moving to Arkansas? I know that was a serious life event that affected all of you.
It did. It still affects us. In fact, just yesterday, we were moving to Arkansas. It affected us at work.
Oh, how
Because
so?
we had a lady come in and says, "Is Caleb Dunkerson here?" I said, "He doesn't work here anymore." He's like, "Well, I need someone to explain something about my computer." So we told her to go away.
Oh,
Well, that's not true. Chris just came out, or manager came out and said stuff to her.
I
That
see.
seemed to confuse her.
Does Caleb Dickerson work there anymore?
There's no such thing as a Caleb. Well, there might be a Caleb Dickerson somewhere, but it's certainly not me.
So, have any fun adventures at the post office?
I don't. You see, you guys are trying. Okay, so off podcast, we were talking about a topic that may try to
Hey,
be
it
wedged
worked
in here.
in.
And they are
You
trying.
said-
They are forcing it. The
didn't need to be
rules.
forced.
The rules were that it could be brought up if it was brought up smoothly. It could not be forced. It has been forced. Okay, so now we're gonna talk
TR
about
was
this.
brought in,
gonna-
therefore Caleb Dickerson.
No,
could be
we're
brought
gonna talk about this now because the topic has been forced into our podcast violently.
It's like that
Against
awkward
its
guy
will.
at the bar that just keeps hitting on people.
Yeah, you know about that, wouldn't you?
I work at a bar, so yeah, I see that quite a bit, and that's why I pointed out this situation. That's what it was.
So anyway, once upon a time, I had some business cards that read Caleb Dickerson. That's not my last name. That's not my name. That's not my name.
That's not my name.
That's not my name. That's not my name.
My
That's
name
not
is more correctly spelled as Dunkerson, but for some reason, the printing company got it screwed up and ended up putting Caleb Dickerson on there. I think that it was a cruel joke from the actual printing company. I think that
I was gonna say, I think someone was messing around and accidentally slipped.
yeah,
Because it's a few letters are off there.
it's pretty easy. Like somebody sends you like a typed up thing for your business. It's like, this is what I want. It's typed up. It's ready for you. All you have to do is take that thing that's already typed out and just put it on a business card and then print it. So
Someone at
I think it
the
was a
printing
joke.
company probably knew who you were.
Let's just
I
go
think it
ahead
was
and
a
open
joke.
up Word here.
I think it was a cruel, sick joke played by Wolf Printing in Indianapolis.
Oh,
if you guys
damn,
ever think about
got a
getting,
name drop.
if you guys ever thinking about getting some printing done at Wolf Printing, make sure that your name can't be easily changed to something involving Dickerson.
Sam's was fine.
To be
Yeah.
fair, though,
You also go to the same place?
Huh?
well, what are they
You
going to
went
do?
to
Change his name to
Same places.
Yeah, company. I don't know.
The CPR uses the same company, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah,
Unless
always.
the whole Dickerson thing, like, just like piss him off so much, like never again.
We will
No.
not use them again.
No,
This
they
is
just,
unacceptable.
Especially
just-
with someone like Dumbass on our team now.
they just replaced it. They just replaced my cards with new ones that were correct for free. So, good on you, Wolf Printing. You did good. But that first time,
Well,
Come
see,
on, guys.
now I'm a little confused because you name drop and we're like, hey, if you're going to go to Wolf Printing, you better not have a dumb name. And
Yeah.
now you're like, well, they fixed it. So.
well, but there's going to be that initial part where they pranked you, and then you're going to feel stupid for a little while.
So they're like,
then they're
so
going to
they're
make
like
good
Sour
on it.
Patch Kids. They're sour at first and then sweet later.
But you love
Yeah.
them overall,
Yeah.
right?
I wouldn't go so far as to say love. I'll just say that I'm indifferent.
But you take them to a movie?
No, I'm indifferent about Wolf Printing. I think that they're okay. They can print. They've printed stuff successfully.
I thought we were talking about Sour Patch Kids.
You wouldn't play love games with them? Love
Pay
games?
$6 at the checkout of the theater.
So, guys, have you watched any new movies lately, or recently on
Yeah.
DVD movies? or
I
anything?
did. I did watch a new movie. I actually watched lots of new movies. Quick statement. I did watch Place Beyond the Pines finally after some people yelled
Oh,
at me.
hey, what did you think about that?
I thought that movie was really good and really, really long. But it was also really good.
Yeah.
But also really long.
It was both of those things, and I agree totally. It was really good. I liked that
thought-
movie.
The music was beautiful but seemed out of place. I felt like it wasn't like weird enough for that music. Like it wasn't enough. What's the word I'm looking for? It almost came off like it might be a David Lynch movie, but then it wasn't because it was not really anything weird going on. It was all normal stuff.
Yeah.
But the music was really good, and it implied things. It implied things that weren't there. But outside of that, I also saw the new X-Person movie.
X-person.
X-People?
X-Men?
Yeah, X-Men.
That
I
one.
saw that one.
The
then-
Days of Future Past? Is that the
Yes,
one
that
that we're talking about?
Yeah, the one with the inconsistent special effects.
I would like to prepare
Oh.
every one of our listeners that Sam has created a rant. He's written it. He's taken the time and effort to write a rant. This is how strong his feelings are.
He practiced it in front of the mirror.
Which one listener are you preparing?
Who was it, like life affirmations?
No, okay, so here's the thing. The movie was shot on like a $200 million budget, and the special effects were awful.
Which one?
Sometimes. I don't know, it was
Sometimes.
really inconsistent. Like, you get some really good effects and then really bad effects.
Look,
But-
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't notice any effects being particularly bad. What
Yeah,
are you
the
talking
whole-
about? Is there
The whole... There's that ending scene after the credits, or midway through the credits, I can't remember, with the pyramid.
yeah.
That,
Oh, yeah,
like,
that was really bad.
I don't know, it was just like inconsistent.
They just like threw that in. Like I feel like it was done by Sam.
Yeah, it looked like
Ouch.
special
No,
effects.
I
were
feel
like-
like that if Sam did that, that would be wow. Sam, you've really stepped up your game by like infinite percentages.
I feel like this
He could have
insult.
watched.
I feel like this insult towards X-Men quickly turned into an insult towards Sam.
As does life.
Your gun has pointed at your head and is ready to fire.
Dang. Oh,
Okay, so
another-
outside of the in credit sequence that you apparently have a problem with that I didn't really notice there being a major issue with, what is there anything else that you? Because you indicated to me that you really hated that movie.
Well, I wouldn't say I really hated it.
No.
Say.
You
the movie
indicated
insults
to me.
my intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, but another thing, like I said, it insulted my intelligence. Another quick excerpt before I get to the main thing that I had a problem with is there was not enough Quicksilver, Bishop, or Blink. I could have watched an entire movie, no story, taking a story out, and just had those three fighting robots. I would watch that.
Okay,
I would watch
So-
2.5 hours of those three fighting robots.
so Quicksilver was my favorite character.
yeah.
Yeah.
Quicksilver was my favorite character in that movie. And the thing is that I know that most likely we're never going to see that portrayal of Quicksilver again.
No, because the next movie takes place 10 years later. We're not going to have that, can't remember his name is, old boy from American Horror Story come back and play him. And it's sad.
Well, I don't know. He could come back and play him.
Because then you know the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Quicksilver is going to be awful. Have you seen that guy? He looks terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The one that just the Days of Future Past Quicksilver is such a fun. Look, I don't know anything about comics. I don't know what's accurate or what's inaccurate. But what I do know is that was good. That was good character. That was good character making and entertaining. That was entertaining.
Also,
I love that.
Bishop and Blink are awesome. Blink was cool because you shoot all little teleports everywhere and people just flying through it and killing the robot. That was just cool.
So
she
it
had,
was
like-
like half. It was like Portal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And it was
awesome.
really cool because then you had like Colossus and Bishop and people flying through it, shooting stuff through it.
Which they never explained at all.
Honestly, I don't know what a bishop is.
Her, like 3 different clips of her shooting people through portals.
Well, no, she didn't shoot anyone. Everyone else was shooting stuff. Like, she'd shoot a portal in front of the
That's what I'm
Sentinels,
saying.
and they would shoot through the portal and then hit another Sentinel.
Yeah.
They didn't explain. They didn't explain that.
I know, but they
I just
needed
explained
more
it.
of it. They needed
Oh,
more of it.
that's
That's
what
what I'm
I'm-
saying. Is more build up and more showing of it.
That's what I'm saying. Is
It
that
was too background.
I would have watched an entire movie of just that with no story.
Like if that were the forefront of the movie.
if that was
that's
a
all
movie
you need.
based around these 3 people fighting robots, I would watch that. But here,
Would've
let's
been
get to the robots. Let's get to the Sentinels. So the Sentinels had adaptive powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they got somehow from Mystique's DNA.
What?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, DNA. Didn't you
I
know
haven't
that
actually seen this movie yet.
if you poke some DNA into a piece of metal, it takes on the traits of that DNA?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Let's say that hypothetically...
Wait a second. Okay. So are you saying that if I bleed on a piece of metal, it becomes an alcoholic, pre-diabetic, bipolar piece of metal?
Yes. According to X-Men, yes, that's what happens.
Fascinating.
It's not true.
Okay, so let's say that hypothetically this can happen. They somehow took DNA from a mutant and then they adapted it to robots to adapt, which is kind of really stupid.
That's a stretch.
It was-
It's like Doctor Who
Okay,
logic.
yeah, seriously. Okay, let's say hypothetically I would take into that. I suspend my disbelief.
Unless they're biomechanical robots.
Yeah, I mean,
Like the geckos from Metal Gear.
shh, we're not talking about Metal Gear yet.
Yet.
It's not getting started.
I'm just
We
saying.
haven't
It's not
gotten to
getting
Metal
started.
Gear Hour yet.
Anyway, no. Anyway, so let's say hypothetically that happens. Why that Mystique does not have adaptive ability? She just changes shape.
That's
Yeah.
true.
No,
If they
what would
wanted
make sense?
shape-shifting abilities, then that would make sense. But
Well, yeah, what would make more
It's
sense
not
if
like she had rogue's power.
like, did you see First Class, Matt?
No, I haven't seen any of this.
So there was a mutant that is considered like the most powerful mutant in the comics, Darwin, who they had in it for like 10 minutes and then killed him off. If I say hypothetically they had captured him,
See, you said one of the most powerful
they killed him off, though.
students, and
Yeah.
I automatically went to X-Man or Cable.
no, Darwin can adapt to anything. But
Really?
except for Kevin Bacon, he can't adapt to Kevin Bacon.
What?
No one can adapt to Kevin Bacon.
Is he too footloose?
So, like, if they say hypothetically they said, "Hey, we captured this mutant and then took his DNA and somehow adapted it to robots," I would have maybe half believed that. But Mystique was a terrible, stupid choice. And also, they killed off Darwin in the first movie or 5th movie or whatever. however
Yeah,
you
that's really
consider
dumb.
that.
Wolverine
Could have made
6.
a huge art.
Yeah, Darwin is so cool, and they had to go. Whatever. I'm done. I'm done
But
with
you
this
know what?
movie.
First Class was overall a really good movie.
It was. First Class was a decent movie. I hate the X-Men movies. I hate all of them, and I'll keep watching all of them because X-Men's the only comic I read as a good.
I'm just waiting for what's his name? Van Wilder. He played Deadpool in the Wolverine movie.
He has a real name.
I
mean,
know
I
that.
can't
I
think of
can't
it.
think of it either. But I
Deadpool in the Wolverine movie?
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
That one.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
I'm just waiting, and I'm getting to Deadpool. I'm just waiting for them to greenlight that Deadpool movie that they
They
Oh,
did.
did.
that's gonna
Like,
happen.
It's green.
They did? Guys, I wish you could see my face right now that I just made.
I can see
Uh,
your face.
I may need to go change my pants.
He
was
definitely
a-
needs to change his name.
It was a very excited face.
I'm
I-
gonna say something's gonna hurt your heart.
What?
I don't much care for Deadpool.
That's fine.
He's a little
No,
overdone.
Deadpool is totally overrated, but I love Ryan Reynolds, and I think that one Deadpool movie
Didn't
would
he
be
play
nice.
Green Lantern?
Yeah, he did.
Can you?
He
what
did,
happens
but
when they have the Green Lantern
he-
Deadpool crossover?
it's okay because Green Lantern was terrible, and I think
And
most people
Green
accept
Lantern's
that.
also DC.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what happens when they have
So
the Green
there's
Lantern?
probably not going to be a crossover.
I mean,
there was a DC Marvel crossover.
When you think of it like that,
but not in the cinematic universes. That's never going to happen. They
when
are
you
too-
think of it like that, the Human Torch was also Captain America.
Yeah, I know that's going to be problematic because they're.
those are both Marvel.
Yeah, I think they may have just ditched the Fantastic Four.
Oh, they ditched it.
I think they
The
should just
Fantastic Four is not happening.
Yeah, it's not
That's
they're
not
not
real.
canonizing it in the movies, and two, it was just awful. Anyways,
Yeah, but Fantastic Four was never good. I'm sorry for
Yeah.
this listener who likes a Fantastic Four.
listen, the one person
I feel
that
like
we
that's a
know
stretch.
Probably,
I'm sorry, Mom, but I didn't much care for the Fantastic Four.
I really didn't either.
No, not just the movies. I really don't like
Yeah,
those heroes.
same.
Except for the kid.
Look, my only experience with the Fantastic Four.
It's psychotic. Not psychotic. The kid's like the most powerful.
The only good thing that came out of Fantastic Four,
Was that kid?
no, hold on,
No.
was the fact that the Incredibles.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The best part about the Fantastic Four was the Incredibles.
Yeah, exactly. Incredibles were blatantly based on Fantastic
The
Four.
best part of the
Well,
Fantastic
actually, yes, they were based on the
Agreed.
Fantastic Four, and the storyline was based on Watchmen.
Yes.
Bam.
So yeah, seriously.
That's like
The
Those are two-
Incredibles is like the greatest. The Incredibles is like the greatest superhero movie ever.
So you're telling me that when you combine the Fantastic Four with the Watchmen, you get a Disney show, a
Yep.
Pixar show?
Yeah,
Exactly.
a really, really good one.
Yep.
Wait a second. Who did Fantastic Four? Was that created by freaking old guy? Excelsior.
Probably. I guess everything was made by him.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was stolen by
I
him.
can't think of
talking
names
about
to-
Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee. So basically, when you put Alan Moore and Stan Lee together, you get something amazing.
Yep.
I don't know if I would go as far as saying that.
You get something really creepy, actually. 'cause
I feel like whenever
Stan Lee
you
and
put-
Alan Moore are both
I
very
think,
creepy
yeah,
people.
I was going to say, if you actually did that, you would probably get something really weird.
yeah,
Because they are both actually creepy people.
Yeah.
Stan Lee is creepy.
Stan Lee is a creepy
Stan Lee
person,
is a creepy guy.
and Alan Moore, you can just read his work.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I mean, he has some good ones, like, the Watchmen and that other one that he made.
Caleb,
His
what are you
Batman stuff
eating?
was good.
He
But,
worked on Marvel Man.
yeah, but a lot of his stuff is actually.
Yeah.
Not now. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, we're talking about comics.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Weird character. Speaking of comics, I texted Sam earlier about this thing, and I don't think anyone a part of this podcast is going to care one bit.
Probably not.
But
Except
hopefully,
for Sam.
but hopefully, one listener will enjoy this. For those that don't know, I am a massive Neil Gaiman fan. I have tattoos on my arm that were inspired from Neil Gaiman, and as we speak, Neil Gaiman and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are working very hard to
I like
bring.
Joseph
Yeah,
Ew.
Gordon-Levitt.
yeah, that's
I like that
that's a great thing.
Not to be confused with certain relatives of some of us.
guy. Yeah, I don't like that guy. I hope he listens to this podcast.
Are we talking about your brother?
I know he doesn't listen to this podcast. He's
Dude,
much
no one-
too busy doing
Cool stuff. Having a
pretentious,
successful life.
doing pretentious things. He's much too pretentious to listen to this.
So, anyways, Neil Gaiman and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are working to bring the Sandman series to the big screen, and I am beyond stoked. They've been trying for 2 decades, and at some point, Warner Brothers was trying to make a Sandman movie, and they brought the script to Neil Gaiman, and it was legitimately like a cape and tights superhero flick. And it was a disgrace to what Sandman is. And so finally, we may have a Sandman script that's ready to be brought to the big screen, and I'm just so excited.
Well, I don't even know what Sandman is except for Spider-Man.
That is a totally different thing. You should go educate yourself.
Yeah, do it.
It's very cerebral. You might actually enjoy it, Caleb.
Also,
Cerebro, isn't that an X-Men thing?
We're not
already
talking
done
about
with them.
we're not talking about X people anymore.
Okay.
That's the next
well, I
topic.
just want to go on record saying that X-Men Days of Future Past, I liked it.
Oh,
Although
I want to
feel
go on
like it
record
could have
and
had
say
less. I feel like that it could have not been Wolverine 7. It could have
Yeah.
had less Wolverine, probably.
Oh, hang on. One more thing.
Okay.
freaking Kitty Pryde sending people back in time.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that?
She certainly did not have that ability before.
That doesn't even make sense. Oh, I can ghost through stuff and send people back in time. What?
They didn't even.
Well,
yeah,
maybe
they
it was
tried that one.
maybe she's a late bloomer on her powers.
Like, one of my favorite mutants, and then they had to go freaking...
Oh, ghosting was just like this tiny little thing that I could do. I'm really all about Doctor Who. Like
Yes.
I'm the TARDIS.
Okay, so what I think... Okay, so a lot of people have a bunch of theories about this movie, and the fact that there are so many inconsistencies with the other X-Men movies. And the current theory that I subscribe to is that this movie, like Days of Future Past, takes place in a timeline that is outside of the other movies. It's like the next timeline over, alternate universe where almost all the same things happen, but some things are different. Because they never explain how Xavier is back alive in the future, which he's totally dead after X-Men 3. And, like, there's no explanation. But he's definitely extra dead after X-Men 3.
I feel like there was a point in time in the comic books where that actually happened.
like 30.
Yeah, where he's been dead but ended up not being dead. So I think true fans wouldn't question that. But at the same time, when you're watching a movie, that sort of thing almost needs to be spelled out to you.
I think that it was a bunch of true fans that came up with this theory that it was an alternate reality.
Because they don't want the X-Men movies to be as bad as they are.
I think
Because that's not the only inconsistency. I just can't think of any more of them now. But there were a ton of them. Because I went online after watching that movie, and I was like, why is Xavier alive? And then there was a thread that went through all the inconsistencies that I found. And then they were like, our conclusion is that this is a slightly alternate universe, and you just have to take it as being an alternate universe. Don't worry about the inconsistencies,
I
because
thought that was the official statement by what's his face.
I don't know. I just read it in a forum. I just read a forum post that put
I
together
thought I
all
read
the
something.
problems.
I thought I read something where he said that this is a slightly different alternative timeline too.
How very Star Trek.
Yes.
Making shit up as
Well,
you
that's
go.
what they were
and-
trying to do, but then
It's okay though.
these are not.
I'm really okay with it because the original trilogy was, okay. X-Men 3 was really awful, and so anything that fixes problems from X-Men 3 makes me happy.
What if the whole going back in time thing just happened multiple times, and we're seeing like the 5th time that this happens? So things change just slightly.
I guess that could be the case.
Butterfly effect. But again, that's one of those things that you can't let the audience assume. Like,
Well,
it kind of needs to be spelled out.
We just assumed
I
that
think-
Kitty had extra
I
powers.
think the
That-
simplest answer. I think the simplest answer is that we are to assume that this is a slightly different universe.
Hey, can I do one more thing? I'm probably gonna have 1,000 of these as we go on with this movie. So for those of us who have seen, for one member who probably has seen the movie, Mom, I'm gonna ruin the ending, the after credits scene at the end.
Spoilers.
Of this. Yeah, spoilers. So if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the movie, well,
off.
you should have seen the movie by now. Anyways, so in the past, so there's the future and the past going on in this X-Men movie. In the past, Magneto and Xavier are talking about all the mutants that have died for the cause and how, Xavier let them die. And he mentions Angel died. So say hypothetically that past was the past of the original X-Men movies in which Angel is in, he's not dead. Also, he mentioned Angel's dead, but then in the final credits, the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse are there. Angel's one of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
I think the conclusion we have drawn is that it's a paradox.
Yeah, but the final scene takes place way in the past.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like he's building pyramids.
But you can't have the
Apocalypse is
4
building-
Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Yeah, but you can't have the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse without Angel. Archangel
Well-
in
But
it.
he would still be alive at that point. When
No, no, because yes, he would be when the apocalypse happened. But I think Sam is saying for the next movie, for X-Men Apocalypse, it's going to be problematic to have all 4 horsemen if one of them's dead. And at that point in the timeline, when they change the future, it doesn't matter that he's still dead. He's already
Yeah,
dead.
because
Well,
he died in the past.
The thing is that it's going to be one of those assumptions that they're going to build into the movie.
Of course,
And you're supposed to just know why he's there.
for the record, if you did read the comics or watch the cartoon series from the 90s,
Oh, yeah.
Angel does actually lose his wings and stuff, and that's how he becomes the Archangel. Is he gets like robot a lot of genetic modifications and like robot wings are added. That's how he becomes the fourth horseman of the apocalypse. But they were saying he's dead. He wasn't dead when he became the fourth horseman.
I feel like that.
I would like to point out real quick that the cartoon series in the 90s was very true.
It was, but it didn't age well because I went and tried to watch that last year, and I thought this is not a very good show.
I remember when you did that.
Most 90s shows didn't age well.
Except for 90s Batman.
Batman the anime.
Batman.
That's
Not Batwoman.
that is
Batman.
that is a separate
Okay.
a separate conversation because you and I alone can go on for hours about
I have
that.
not.
It's
I have not ever watched the '90s Batman cartoon, but
you are fucking up life.
okay. Yes, but,
Seriously.
but I feel like that based on what I've heard about it, people consider it to be more like canonically significant in its own thing than any of the actual Batman comics. Like it's Batman.
They introduced Harley Quinn in that, right?
Yeah,
That's where she first appeared.
I actually believe that most people I've talked to refer to Mark Hamill as the definitive Joker, and what's his name? Is it Richard? The guy that voices Batman. Whoever voices Batman in that animated series, they consider him the definitive Batman.
You know what he didn't do?
Isn't he dead or something?
No, he voiced Batman in all of the Arkham series.
Adam
No,
West.
not Arkham. No, not Arkham Origins. He didn't.
Not
voice him in
Arkham Origins. He backed down for that, but he is returning.
Not Arkham Organs either.
Guys, I'm drinking Mojito. Calm down. He didn't return for Origins, but I think he's returning for the final game.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm sad that Mark Hamill
We'll see.
no longer has anything to do with it.
That's because Mark Hamill doesn't want to be typecasted. That's why he's playing Luke Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 7.
That's so
Speaking
not
of-
typecasted.
Speaking of Star Wars, I feel like Caleb has something to say about the lightsaber.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm sure that at this point everybody has, seriously, you have seen the preview already. Everybody.
Real quick,
If you haven't, there's something wrong with you.
Caleb,
What?
since Sam said that, I have to know, are you going to have an issue with the lightsaber, or are you going to correct people?
I'm going to have an issue with people who have issues with the lightsaber.
Okay, because I assumed you were smarter than that, and if you were going to have a problem with it, I was going to have to school you.
I love the lightsaber. I love it. It's so cool. And it makes so much sense from a sword perspective to have like the actual the standard lightsaber design with no crossguard is like a really stupid design as far as swords are concerned. Like it's a really bad design. Like what sword have you ever seen that has no crossguard of any kind?
There are katanas.
Booyah.
What are you talking about? Katanas have crossguards.
No, there are katanas that are, when you put them into the sheath, they are flush. The handle is flush with the sheath, so there is no crossguard.
Maybe failure katanas, but all katanas that know what's going
there's
on.
There's actually one in Kill Bill. It's the one that.
Yeah, because Kill Bill is like the definitive reference for what is a practical weapon.
No, actually, that is very relevant. There are actually katanas made that way.
I'm sure that there are katanas made that way, but that doesn't mean that they're good katanas.
No, it doesn't mean they're practical, but I am saying that they are relevant and they are used.
That's the exact point I was just making, is that there's no practical sword that doesn't have a crossguard, because that's like a key part of protecting your hand from not being sliced off.
Maybe previous lightsabers weren't practical lightsabers.
No, they're not previous
hence why-
lightsabers. The lightsabers that had crossguards.
I'm saying from previous movies.
No. Okay, I understand. But what I'm saying is that according to a friend of mine who is more into Star Wars than I am, because I'm really not. I just have seen the movie.
There's always that friend.
But this friend of mine that is more into Star Wars than I am told me that in the Old Republic, like in the expanded universe, in like Old Republic times, sometime far way back in time in the timeline,
in a galaxy long
Guys,
that
4,000 years. 4,000 years.
Okay, whatever. So anyway, that crossguard having lightsaber design was like the standard design for a lot of Jedi at one point in the history of Star Wars. And so, like, apparently that's like A-okay according to the Star Wars expanded universe. It's just that in the movies they never represented that type of design until now.
Yeah, a lot of people are complaining that as far as the movies go, if you're going to have something in the movie, it should be something that's already pre-established with the movie. But I don't agree with that. If there's a wonderful expanded universe out there full of awesome stories and great ideas and things that really add color to the universe, why would you exclude that just to
wait? So you're
have
saying,
something to complain about?
You're saying that people are saying that that they don't want them to add anything that's not pre-established. How are you going to make a new movie? Like,
yeah, well, people are
this storyline, this plot point is not pre-established.
Yeah, people. Yeah, exactly. People. I've actually had several conversations with people saying that when you make a new Star Wars movie, it should be something that's already canonized with previous movies.
That plot point's not canon because it didn't happen
silly.
in the previous movies.
That's
that character not canon because he wasn't in the previous movies. Oh no, that spaceship not canon, wasn't in the previous movies. The Star Wars universe
really
is
silly.
not allowed to grow. Is that what they're saying? Is that the Star Wars cinematic universe is no longer allowed to grow? Who made the arbitrary cutoff time for that?
I mean, hell, George Lucas remakes the movie every year and adds different special effects. And he would know. He's the creator.
Exactly.
Does anybody ask him about this? Just to see what his take is.
I'm sure he doesn't care. He's like rolling around in all of his money right now.
Cue the South Park episode references.
But, so anyway, aside from that, I thought that the Star Wars Episode 7 trailer looked really good. It was shockingly devoid of lens flares.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were.
That was nice.
It didn't have enough Benedict Cumberbatch for them.
Guys, I think we're getting confused here.
Side note, does anyone keep up with the Colbert Report?
Report?
Yes.
Report.
Report.
It's report.
It is report.
But
I don't watch it.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's the Colbert Report.
Well, side note, Cumberbatch was mentioned. I'm not going to make this a big thing. It's the last week or so of the Colbert Report, and Stephen Colbert legitimately interviewed Smaug, and it was fantastic.
Are you sure it was legitimate?
It was very legitimate.
Is that the word you would use?
They used.
Are you sure it's not Smaug?
Smaug.
Not Smaug.
I think it's Smoog. Smoog.
Does everyone have their own way of pronouncing that?
Smog.
I always called him Smoog.
Well, in the interview, Stephen and Smaug got into an argument over how it's pronounced because Stephen was saying smog, and Smaug got so angry that he trashed Stephen's set and started setting everything on fire.
Sounds legitimate.
I was just very in awe that Comedy Central had that level of like CGI going on, because it was like full movie standard like CGI, and Benedict Cumberbatch was there and awesome.
When you say movie CGI, are you saying like X-Men Days of Future Past CGI? Or
but which parts of it? Was it which part of X-Men Future
like the
Past
pyramid?
Was it?
No, it was. I can't even compare it to Days of Future Past because I haven't seen it. It was straight up Hobbit level.
Oh
Which in
man,
my-
that's not very good CGI. So
I thought the Hobbit looked really
I
good.
think
Hobbit looks really.
Oh well,
awful.
aside from the 60 frames per second thing, that was
48. Gosh, get it right.
okay. Excuse me, I'm not.
I think
But
my
also
iPhone 6
awful
can shoot that.
special effects. It looks so terrible. It looks like I'm playing Oblivion. Yeah. Or Skyrim.
Hey.
I guess it would be Skyrim, not Oblivion. Oblivion was pretty bad.
The water was really shiny though.
Yeah, but the thing is, whenever I go to see a Hobbit movie, I would rather see something more like The Lord of the Rings, where it looks like a real place that I could actually go to, instead of looking like a video game that I could actually play.
the problem I have with that statement is that it's like done the same way. It is a real place.
No, it's not. It's completely CG'd.
All
Giant
one
sets.
mountain in New Zealand.
They're all giant sets.
Shot from different
No.
perspectives.
Yep. They take it from one side of the mountain or the other.
There are a few sets, and then pretty much everything else is CG'd.
I think what Caleb's really getting at is I fell asleep playing Oblivion once.
I don't think
I
that
fell
that's
asleep
that
playing.
really- Really? And didn't you beat it while you were asleep? That like, isn't that when you beat it?
So
I know
Yeah.
a guy that got so obsessed with
it
Oblivion.
doesn't even make sense. The
No,
game
wait a
sucks.
second.
Also, didn't you beat that
got-
game in like 20 hours?
I beat it in 7.
Oh crap! That's shorter than I thought.
Real quick, I know someone that got so obsessed with Oblivion that he played it for a week straight and organized
he didn't
his
sleep?
book collection.
He just like was just awake for a week straight playing.
Did
Yeah,
you go potty at all?
Now it killed him.
hold on. I'm getting to my point,
Didn't some
and it's
Korean
relevant
gamer?
to your guys' concerns. He played it for a week straight and got obsessed with organizing and collecting books, and then actually had to be taken to the hospital because he was malnourished and dehydrated.
So he did go potty. He just forgot to put in
He
other
forgot
liquids.
to replace what was taken
So
out.
you're
I
telling me
see.
someone devoted their life to a stupid game.
Trying to find that other copy of the Lusty Argonian Maid.
So
Yeah.
They're like,
I know.
so so I think the question is that we all have to ask here is why Oblivion was not very good.
like you said, like Morrowind, I would understand. Morrowind is a beautiful game.
I'm still waiting for like an updated version of more.
If you said like Daggerfall, I'd be all over
Hey.
that.
Guys, I have played Daggerfall.
Uh,
You know what? It's hard and it's scary because the map is like 70 times bigger than that of the Skyrim map, and it's all randomly generated, so I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what you're talking about. Redguard is where it's at.
Sure.
No one even knows what that game is.
I know what
Yeah.
that game is. 'Cause I'm a loser. You read the Wikipedia page.
So, hey, that's what I did too. I read the Wikipedia page. I
I've
never
read
played-
I've watched Bethesda gamer history on YouTube.
Never played that crap.
Well.
Come on. Oh man. So hey guys. So anyway, I guess we should probably transition to another topic.
Why?
Like because like we're like way off script here. So anyway. guys.
Okay.
Man, our podcast isn't scripted. This is the
So
White Trash Voltaire show.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Scripted.
Well, we have an outline, and we're off.
you know what else had really bad
Dang it.
CG?
You're ruining the illusion of disposition. The illusion.
The illusion of disposition.
Illusions?
Yes, we're all in the same room, guys. That's the key. That's what you got to remember is that we're all in
But
the
the
same
audience
room.
member doesn't know that.
They
Or
were-
no.
I would like to
What are you
point
trying to
out
say, Sam?
that I just realized what the point of this podcast is for. You see, we have an outline, and then we drink more throughout the podcast, and then just things derail. That's this podcast.
No, Kevin's
Okay.
not true.
So, speaking of things
You're-
derailing, my plans to get a delicious little treat called Oreos derailed the other day. Whenever I went to the store, I went to Walmart, okay, and I was gonna get. I was,
They have Walmarts now?
That doesn't make sense.
that's-
It's funny
That's where all
because
those people of Walmarts come from, right?
That's,
Guys, it's
that's
funny.
that's where Walmart was invented.
that's why it's
Wait,
funny.
seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arkansas. The headquarters of Walmart is Bentonville, Arkansas.
Should have known.
It's like on the other side of Arkansas. It's like 2
Try not
hours
to look
away.
at Walmart, much less the trucks.
So
is you guys like really proud of that?
I mean,
Their shining achievement.
well, there's a lot of money from Walmart related activities happen, so that's good. Like for the
Anyway,
state of Arkansas.
What were you saying about your
Oreos.
Oreos.
I went to a Walmart to get myself some Oreos. Well, actually, I went there to get like food for like sustenance. But then while I was there, I saw the Oreo aisle, and I was like, I gotta get some Oreos.
You have a whole Oreo aisle?
Yeah,
Well,
you said
What?
I understand there's a cookie aisle, but you said the,
The
Oreo
Oreo aisle?
Is that
Well,
like an Arkansas specific
Oreos,
thing?
no, Oreos were front and center on the aisle, so it was just, to me, at that time, it was the Oreo aisle, even though there were tons of assorted cookies all the way down the aisle. Anyway, so there was Oreos, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna get me some Oreos. Because I never buy myself treats, ever, but Oreos were there, and I was like, I haven't had Oreos in like a year, except for at Sam's house, whenever a mouse ate the Oreos with us. Me and Sam and a mouse were sharing some Oreos one time. That's a different story. Anyway,
Another day.
so I went to get me some Oreos, and there was like these mountains of Oreos stacked up, and then like there was like mint Oreos, and there was like fudge cream Oreos, and like the weird, all the weird varieties. And I was like, I just want regular Oreos. So I look down at the bottom of the aisle, and there's like this massive stack of just Oreos. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get me some Oreos. I reach in, grab one of the packs of Oreos, go on my merry way, like it's no big deal. And then, whenever I get home, I find that I didn't get Oreos. I got double stuffed Oreos. And it was such a heartbreaking experience because double stuffed Oreos are awful. I hate double stuffed Oreos.
Oh, you poor thing.
That's the Oreo debacle?
I thought that this whole Oreo debacle was going to be you pulled one out and then the entire tower of Oreos fell down.
Or I was
No.
thinking that like maybe you like opened the package and you found a human thumb.
Or a mouse? Like
the
a
Oreo
mouse?
debacle is the existence of the abomination that is double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah,
And
but
why
that's
they
fine.
got mixed in with my normal Oreos that are the perfect balance of chocolate cookie and cream. Oreos are meant to be half this thickness. I am holding a double stuffed Oreo in my hand right now, and I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, you know, this isn't how it's supposed to be. There is a balance, a zen-like balance, that happens with a regular Oreo, and it is completely thrown off balance with a double stuffed Oreo. I hate them. I eat them anyway, but I hate them.
Caleb,
Plus,
I
there's
feel
less.
like it would.
There's less in a package.
That's
It's
true.
same
That-
price,
that's less.
same price, less cookies.
Caleb, I feel like it would be rude of me not to offer this to you. But would you like some cheese? Because you seem to have bottles upon bottles of wine.
I feel like
We'll take some here.
I feel like that joke could have been executed much more smoothly.
No, I like
I
the
don't
exaggeration.
know if it could have been.
Can I just say that your Oreos are yellow inside?
We've already
It's
determined it.
just the white balance.
Yeah, we
But-
already discussed that.
It kind of looks.
It makes really gross looking Oreos though.
Yeah.
And it
Oh yeah, I
Alright.
forgot to
Turn
mention
away
they're
from
urine flavored Oreos.
Yeah, from our perspective, it kind of looks like someone peed in your Oreos.
either that or you accidentally bought the Easter Oreos, and Easter was a really long time ago. I hope you got a discount.
Speaking of pee,
Eggnog Oreos.
Speaking of pee, can I talk about something? Can I talk about something real quick?
I don't know. It depends.
You said
What's-
pee
So,
and
I
talk
work,
about.
I
I
work.
don't
I
know.
work at a cell phone repair place. A lot of people bring in phones that are liquid damaged.
I used to work at a cell phone repair place.
I see where this is going.
So-
I don't like it.
Like
I wanna vomit.
So like 75% of these phones, they tell me that I dropped it in the toilet, and then they stop themselves to say, "Oh no, but the toilet water's clean." So yesterday we had a phone that after I took it in, I smelled it, and it smelled like urine.
Gross.
How did that make you feel about your current life?
I sanitized my existence, and then I gave it to one of my fellow technicians. What fellow technicians? As if I'm a technician. I gave it to a technician. I gave it to someone who can fix that.
Did you take like an Everclear bath?
I don't know what that means, but there was a Purell bottle up front, and I used the entire thing.
You mean you didn't use real soap? I've been touching you. Ew.
I took a shower at some point.
Okay.
and stuff. But it just makes me wonder how many phones people actually bring in that are actually dropping like in urine.
Well, probably most of them. I mean, if they go in the toilet, which most of them do, then they probably got urine on them. That's all I'm saying. I mean, what are the odds that you dropped it into the clean toilet
Yeah, because you're
versus
probably
the
pulling your
urine
pants up.
toilet?
And
Oh,
dropping
there
in
goes
the
your
toilet.
phone.
Exactly.
Also, how many of these people actually clean their toilet on a regular basis?
Seriously.
I don't know.
Anytime a phone is dropped in a toilet, you should just assume that it's like the epitome of all evil.
And then punch the person.
A
in the
toilet
face.
is never clean.
What? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about
Okay.
Toilet water really clean.
So anyway, guys.
phones and pockets?
But the
are
porcelain
gross.
itself.
So why would you put your phone in your back pocket?
Pocket? Seriously.
Why would you put your phone in the toilet?
Especially considering the fact that most pockets nowadays are in like booty shorts that are like not even 3 centimeters deep.
Because if you think
And
about
the
it,
phone is 7 freaking inches long now. Like, why would you do that?
if you think about it, that phone is somewhat fragile. In your back pocket
Somewhat?
is where your butt sits down on things. So like, you know, why would
I
you
find it-
sit on your phone?
I find it completely absurd that there are phone brands that are coming out with curved phones.
Specifically to fit your butt?
Yeah.
Are-
Why
is
the hell
that-
are you
is
sitting
that
on
what
your phone
they
anyway?
Came out with. Is that why they came out with the curved phone? The only one I know of is the LG Flex, and they were just like, it's curved because it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what
it's-
they say.
Yeah,
they
it's
didn't
for your butt.
advertise that it was for your butt.
It fits the contours of your
LG.
cheek.
Guys,
LG
I'm gonna
Flex.
touch butt.
LG Flex. It's for your butt.
Yeah, if they had marketed it like that, you know, it probably would have done well.
Probably.
By the way, is it just me, or does Motorola come out with like a Droid every couple years that's a big deal, and then they completely disappear?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does Motorola kind of suck at making phones these days, and they continue to do that?
It's not the droid you're
Constantly.
I'm just saying.
Because the thing is that Motorola does.
That-
They do indeed come up with a Droid like every few years.
and it's
And
marketed
it
to
does
be a big
tend
deal.
to be a big deal. But when it actually comes out, people realize that it's actually not very good, and then so they're like, "Oh, well, we
they've
got
got
all
a
excited
great
over
market-
nothing."
They
Guys.
do.
Guys, can we change the topic to cell phones? Because I don't
Sure.
really know a whole lot about them. So I can't follow along very well.
You
gotta
know what
write something
you know
down.
what Sam does know a lot about though? He knows a lot about Metal Gear stuff because he's a big fan
I am,
of Metal Gear.
but it's not Metal Gear Hour yet.
Well, what is it? That's what I-
Criterion Collection. album.
Oh, okay, Criterion Collection. So hey, guys, how about that Criterion Collection?
So
For-
Godzilla
For the record,
happened.
Caleb and I know nothing about Criterion, so this portion of this podcast is going to be Sam.
For
Uh,
a very short period of time, I have worked at a book selling place called Barnes & Noble because I've been otherwise unemployed. Because I moved to Arkansas with no job lined up, because that's what I do. Anyway, I am employed now. I start my new job in mid-January as
Why
a...
didn't you tell us about that at the beginning? What's your new job?
I will be installing Comcast cable and internet services.
oh, that does pretty decent.
Yes,
You'll get money for that.
I will. They will pay me money. More money than Barnes & Noble pays me by a significant margin.
Some monies will be exchanged.
But anyway, the important thing is that I have experienced a lot of standing in front of a bunch of DVDs that are labeled Criterion Collection lately, because they have a lot of Criterion Collection stuff back in the music and DVDs department of Barnes & Noble. But I still know nothing about Criterion Collection. I've just looked at them and gone, those are DVDs.
The only thing you need to know about the Criterion Collection is that if a movie is part of it, it's probably a movie that's worth watching. But I love the Criterion Collection not because of that, but because when something goes Criterion, then the other versions of that DVD
Become
really-
very cheap.
Yeah, cheap. So Zatoichi is a samurai movie series that I'm a big fan of.
Oh, don't get him started.
Is that how you
typically-
pronounce it?
Huh?
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know. Zatoichi,
It's
Zatoichi.
the Toichi.
Is it Zatoichi?
I took a couple years of Japanese.
I'm sure you did.
It's
Oh.
I learned a whole lot of nothing.
That's
Anyway.
cute, Matt.
Never how to say Zatoichi.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I know that some vowels are silent.
ambiguously pronounced Japanese titled samurai movie I like.
Which
When
there's
I-
a lot of.
When I first got into it, it was like $22 a DVD. But now that it's gone Criterion, all those DVDs are like $5, $4. I got one for $2.98 off of Amazon.
What?
Yeah.
$5 a Toichi.
I know.
That sounds like a deal.
And same with the Godzilla movie. I have the Japanese Godzilla, the Gojira. Am I pronouncing it right, Matt? Gojira?
No, shut up.
Anyways, that I figured to be really expensive because it's in really good condition. But I got that for $3 at Half Price Bookstore. Because
Nice.
you know what? That
That was
movie
a
is
steal.
Criterion Collection.
A
So
steal.
I love
Good
the Criterion
to know.
Collection. Keep doing your thing.
Speaking of, does anybody want to buy that one movie? What's that one
We
movie?
haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
The
So,
third man.
Anything
the third
else?
Man.
Anything else about the Criterion Collection?
Things
Yeah.
happen on it.
Oh yeah, when they release a movie, and then that movie goes out of print, that movie then gets really expensive. Also, I learned that
Cool.
DVDs apparently can be valuable.
Like,
I'm saying like we have one. It's called The Third Man. It's out of print version, but we have that for the Criterion Collection, and that movie used goes for $60.
Like I said, does anybody want to buy it?
so the question is, like, are VHSs collectible? Can you?
Yes, they are. There is actually a niche market for VHSs now.
I've got a lot of Disney VHSs. Does anybody want to
Oh,
buy
dude,
those?
I actually
But-
have a lot of.
Do they know that VHSs suck, like, really bad?
It's not about that. It's about that they're hipsters who there's like a sentimental, nostalgic quality.
Can
to.
we talk
What
about
about
iPod?
Betamax though?
I was actually
They're
going to bring this up.
probably
Stephanie
rare.
and I had a conversation just right before this podcast about iPhone ones. She has a 4S that she was price checking because she might be selling it to me, and the prices were everywhere. And so we got on this topic. Apparently, there's people that are buying iPhone ones for ludicrous prices.
How much, Sam?
$17,000.
Ludicrous.
It's like the price is right, only the price is definitely not right.
So it's not like Price is Right.
The
Yeah.
price
So
is
it's like
very,
it's like
very
the opposite
It's
of
more like
Price is
it's more
Right.
like Whose Line, which is what Jim Carrey did, or no, Drew Carey did before he
Yeah.
got
Not
to.
Jim
So
Carrey.
glad
Price
Jim
is Right.
Carrey doesn't do the Who's Line.
No, it'd be amazing
It
if
would
he
be
did Whose
bad.
Line. No, it'd be
Oh,
amazing.
no, it'd be so awful because Jim Carrey is awful.
He's not funny
Whoa,
anymore.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Watch your mouth there.
Hey,
He-
Jim Carrey was funny at one point, and then he stopped.
You need to fuck off.
Well,
I'm
things
just
got.
I'm just saying
brilliant.
he was funny at one point, and
Have
then
you
he stopped. It
Have you
happened.
seen the new Dumber movie?
I have
No, nobody has.
No.
It sucks.
That's true. No one saw it.
I did hear it's one of those awful movies ever made.
That actually doesn't surprise me, but he was really good in Kick-Ass too.
I didn't see that either.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't see that
I'm
one.
saying.
just making eyeballs.
I'm the one person in this podcast that apparently enjoyed it.
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So you
thought
can't
it did okay.
you can't blame me for not enjoying something that I didn't see.
That's true.
I just he does another Ace Ventura movie.
Oh man,
He would ruin it.
It's true.
He's old and not funny anymore.
I think it's something funny.
He could be.
I think it's a big
not.
part of it is I think script. People write what they think Jim Carrey
Mhm.
they want to hear him say, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna be good.
Yeah. He's too ridiculously typecast. I think he'd be really good in something that they just completely threw him into something new.
Yeah,
Just
like
completely new.
The last good thing that
Like,
he did that surprised people was the number 23, and that's because
there's that one. I was thinking the other one.
yeah, and the reason the
Spotless Mind.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
That's
Mind.
the other one that threw people off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things that
He
became
needs to do more of that stuff.
became good about him are the things he did to break the mold. He wrote and directed the number 23, and that was awesome. And well, in a way, yeah, he directed it. Yeah.
I never saw it.
It's worth watching. And Eternal Sunshine was also really good in my opinion.
Wasn't he in The Butterfly Effect?
No, that was Ashton Kutcher.
You know, the only
That was
part
a
of
good
the
movie,
Butterfly that I've watched is the little menu screen, and that's because I fall asleep during like the first 5 minutes, and I wake up during the little menu screen.
I like the butterfly effect.
Every single time, that's what happens.
I've heard that it's really good, but I can't bring myself to watch it.
I fall asleep
Why?
every time.
What does that mean? You can't
Matt.
bring yourself to.
Hey, Caleb, have you seen any of the 5 sequels to it?
No.
Did you know there were like a bunch of sequels?
No, all I knew is that there was the butterfly effect, and I liked it.
No, I don't do.
2 of them appeared in the 8 films of Die For.
I don't know.
Why are
what
you dying for movies? That's just what I want to know.
They're not very good ones. I don't know what.
I feel like giving your life up for a movie is just silly.
Guys, can we just start a campaign to stop people giving their lives for movies?
I feel
That's
like it
just-
needs to be done.
That's unreasonable.
Some sort of fundraiser, petition, some sort of something.
It's a big collection going on. Obviously, there are people that are just
Dying
throwing away their lives
for
these
8
movies,
movies.
and they're not good.
They're not even good. This is ridiculous. What are you people doing with your lives? Nothing. That's what you're doing.
We're ending them.
Ending them for no reason. Ridiculous.
All right, so I think it's about time to change gears.
Speaking of
Metal
ending lives,
Gears.
Sam has ended a lot of lives playing this Demon Souls game. Has
Well,
anybody else?
You know, I have played like 5 total minutes of Dark Souls, which is basically Demon Souls, only it's different slightly. Is what what I'm told.
I hear
So-
that's glitch. I hear there's a lot more glitches. Like it's buggy.
Well, I don't hear any of those
Speaking of
things.
buggy.
But what I do hear is that that Demon Souls is really hard, and I hear that from a lot of people, but also from Sam. And
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
Sam wants to talk about that.
Guys, Demon Souls is a really hard game.
How you
And I
doing?
hate the people who made it. But I have killed 7 demons so far. So I think I'm on my way. I think it's like 20.
Still only 7. 'Cause
Well,
that was
that's a lot
last
more than
time.
other people.
Matt, I think we can get past the second one.
No. Well, by that time, I started playing. My friend took over and started his own profile, and he just went through it like gangbusters, and it demoralized me. I was so broken down from seeing one of my best friends zoom through this game.
Hey man, it's all about just learning the game, bro.
I understand that, and
You know-
yeah, I was making my way. I was making my way downtown, walking fast. I was homebound, and then all of a sudden, my friend comes up and just breaks through this game, and I'm just like, you know what? I never want to play this game again.
Just learn the game, bro. Just learn it.
Yeah,
Can't play
well,
unless you learn it.
I had to do some learning in the first week. So when I first started the game, I chose to be a barbarian. I always choose barbarian, because I'm a big fan of Conan. For the listener,
Like
I
the
think.
movies, not like the books.
No, I will kill you. The books.
I prefer the talk show.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that's a
my
pretty good show. Anyways, that's also the other reason, right? No, so I chose the barbarian class, and I could not make it off that bridge. Like the bridge you start on, I couldn't get past that.
I had to make him get up and walk away. It was bad. Really bad.
Were
I
things
had to
getting
restart-
heated?
Well, yeah, Stephanie makes fun of me when I play the game.
It's coaching, life coaching.
She's like, dodge, you dumbass, dodge!
a lot
No,
of life
you gotta
coaching.
block. Damn it,
Well,
Sam, run around him.
she might have
Stop
just-
getting hit.
She
He
might have
does
just
things the
been
wrong way.
mispronouncing
You're like
your
those
name.
people in movie theaters that's just like, oh, you
Oh,
know.
hell no! Oh, hell no! She did not just say that. Bitch, get up off that couch.
That's what I am. I'm that person. I am.
Well.
I'm sorry.
If you clip Mike, I'm gonna laugh so hard when this podcast comes out.
It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. I'm looking at it right now. The waveforms.
So, anyways,
The waveforms.
Demon Souls is a game that's incredibly difficult. I hate the people who made it. I don't understand why they made it. Why don't you just make a game that we can play and have fun?
can I interject real quick?
No.
I follow the studio that made Demon Souls, which is called Atlas, and one of their
That's not
goals.
even true. It's from
I-
software.
Yeah,
No,
It's
Atlas.
From, no, it's
From-
from software.
From Software is what they're called.
From software.
Atlas was the publisher.
From software is the developer.
Okay, well, everything that Atlas publishes is
Matt just doesn't know anything about what he's talking about.
But he
hey,
follows them.
Atlas made the Shin Megami Tensei series, and they made Catherine.
It's more that.
Yeah, but that's not what From Software made. From Software made
I
Demon
hear-
Souls, Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 2.
Okay, well, I understand that now. Excuse me.
Back
But I
up.
will
Let's
say-
rewind and
I
start
will
this
say-
conversation over.
I will say that everything that Atlas puts their hands on is usually unreasonably, tediously hard.
Yeah.
So
Would you say that?
I would. I
Hey,
played Catherine.
there's a
I've
lot-
also played the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Isn't-
Well played.
Shinigami.
Anyway,
Is,
Demon
there,
Souls.
is this a Death Note game?
Demon is a really hard game. I've said it 1,000
Uh-huh.
times. But the artwork, I don't know. I like playing it. I hate it. I absolutely despise the game.
Maybe it's just because you're not good at it.
No,
No.
he is fairly good at it. He just
I mean-
needs a lot of coaching. He needs some help. He needs
I'll tell you one game I'm not good at is Mirror's Edge.
no, not good at that at all.
Yeah,
Is anyone
you
really
know,
good at
I'm
Mirror's Edge, though?
not very good at it, but I'm getting through the game.
Yeah, we
it's,
all get
it's happening. It's just not
You know what he's
happening
good
very
at in that
smoothly.
game? He's really good at falling.
You know, it would
It's
be
fun the way you go all the way down to the ground before you die.
It is, that is kind of
It's
fun.
kind of fun.
It's the kind of game. It's the kind of game where it would be like a lot of the enjoyment you get out of playing the game would come from really nailing it whenever you do the, you know, different parkour moves and stuff. But it's the kind of game where it is so awkward in the way that it controls and the way that everything works that you never really do nail it. Like you would love
Yeah.
to, but it's just not something that happens.
I
The thing-
like last night I was playing it and I attempted like this one jump 1,000 times just because I couldn't like nail it correctly. And I get kind of angry because I would like it to start me all the way back over from the very beginning of the level and not 10 feet back.
Mhm.
That way, when I do get it, I would have run the entire course.
Okay, is it that one part where you have the building and you have to jump off of it into another building?
Oh yeah, that one.
The whole game.
No.
That
Okay.
one.
Every
Okay.
part.
No,
of it.
Let
there's
me
one
try to
thing-
describe it. There's like air conditioning units on the side of the building, and then there's air conditioning units on the other side of the building, and you
I
have
actually
to
remember that.
you have to make the jump from the air conditioning unit on one side of the building to the air conditioning units on the other building, and it's like an impossible distance. And you can't make the jump until you realize that you're supposed to wall run and then hit like the quick turnaround and then jump that way, even though that does not make sense from like a physics perspective of how that would get you further. Like somehow wall running and then jumping rather than making a direct run and then jump gets you further. It doesn't make sense. It was
I'm in
really
the sewers.
confusing.
I'm in the sewers.
Oh, the sewers? Okay, you're further back than I am.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Why-
What was I gonna say? I was
Why
gonna
are
say
there
something.
only 2 buttons that you push? That's what I don't understand. How do
Well,
all these different things
First
happen?
of all, Stephanie,
What are you
you're
talking
not playing. You don't know how many buttons are being pressed.
I watched the
There's
the
like
tutorial.
50 but no, there's only a few.
You push LR or L1 and L2 and that's it. Or L1
No, R1 and
R-
R1 and R2. You got to press those too.
Hey, there is one thing I do like about the game,
Like-
and it's not the story. The story does suck. I skip it. It's I sometimes get a vertigo and almost throw up when I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't
It's a
happen to
little
me.
thick.
That's an issue that plagues Sam, and he was not able to play Sky. You weren't able to play Skyrim because of that. Like you had to like when you first got Skyrim, you told me you couldn't play it.
He has to play it in very short spurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I
which
get
is-
motions. I get not motion sickness. It's simulation sickness.
Yeah, so that's weird. But
No, that's not what I'm talking about though. With Mirror's Edge, there are some times where I get vertigo because like I get sucked into the game, and then when you jump, like some of the stunts and stuff you do in that are crazy.
would you say that
Like
the
I'll be
game is
running,
really
and I'll just
immersive?
jump off a building. I'm like, oh, fudgesicles.
Would you say it's extremely immersive?
I would say it is immersive if you're not dying every 30 seconds. 30
die-
seconds,
you
every
die a
10
lot.
seconds. I am, yeah, a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah.
But luckily, it's not Demon Souls where you start all the way at the beginning of the game.
You know what's really awful though about Mirror's Edge
Yeah, it
is
starts you 10.
the combat. The combat. I hate the combat.
I was
And
actually
how-
going
and
to say,
how formulaic the entire thing is. Like it's extremely formulaic the way that the entire game plays. You're like, oh, cool, another level. Let me guess. I'm going to run around a little bit, jump on some things, and then some bad guys are going to show up. Just an inordinately large quantity of bad guys are going to show up for no reason. They're all going to know exactly where I am. And then they're going to chase me around. I'm going to have to, like, beat some of them up so that I can get to some sort of really obscure obstacle at the back of the room. Then I'm free of the bad guys for, like, 5 seconds. Then I crawl through a vent. And all of a sudden, the bad guys are out there waiting for me outside the vent as if they knew exactly where I was going, even though realistically you couldn't possibly know where I was going because I've gone through some sewer system or, you know, and it's not like I highly doubt you're pulling up blueprints and going, okay, this is where she's going to be 30 seconds from now. Let's go over there. It's dumb. I hate that game. I like it. It's fun, but it's dumb and I hate it.
My big issue with Mirror's Edge, and I haven't really played it since it came out. I touched it when it released, and after that initial experience, I dropped it. I tried to get as far as I could, but my big issue with Mirror's Edge is that all of the buttons and commands seem to be less definitive and more suggestive.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, you see these obstacles that you have to go over, and let's say you want to jump over this obstacle. Well, sometimes you'll try to slide under it, and you'll slide under it, but if you had jumped over it, you would have had a different, like, thing that you would have been able to do, and, like, the parkour kind of button that they have, it just, I don't know. It's been a while since I've played it,
Like
so
it's been a while since Matt's played it because the things he's saying don't really make sense to me. The parkour button, that's like all the buttons that are used depending on what's going on.
see, I don't remember it that vividly, but I do remember specifically having this conversation with someone while it was fresh in my mind, where I felt like the buttons were very suggestive.
Well, I
Instead of-
think that the buttons are very unintuitive. The way that they work, like I press the wrong button a lot simply because I'm thinking that the button definitely shouldn't be the one. Like the button that does what I want it to do certainly does not feel like it's the one that it actually is. And then I think, man, that's dumb. This is really unintuitive. But anyway, I guess that's enough hate on Mirror's Edge. Frankly, it's okay, but there's a lot of problems. And I'll probably play the second one whenever it gets really cheap or free, like this last one. But
Will you play the second one?
what?
Will you play the second one can you play the second one in your right mind? Like,
Because-
morally, can you play it?
Do you know who's taking control of it, right?
You know, I don't really want to talk about that.
Oh.
And taking control is a pretty strong way to put somebody who is an advisor, like, or not an advisor. What's the word?
Bitch.
She. No. She's been brought on as a consultant. She's hardly in control. She's a consultant.
You know,
Did you really call her that? Did you really say that? I did.
the thing about it, the thing about that is it doesn't matter that she's consulting, because if I play the second one, I'm gonna skip through the storyline anyways, because the story sucks.
That's true.
It doesn't matter. No one, it's boring.
I
I
suspect
don't
that
know
the
what's going
second
on.
one's story is not going to be any better than the first.
Yeah. Oh, there's the blues are chasing you. Is that what they call them? The blues?
The blues.
Oh, man,
She's got the
I got
blues.
the blues.
Chasing me
Blues are
down
fine.
the side of this building.
I got the police.
Okay. Well, anyway, look. Okay, you know what? I don't want to talk about Mirror's Edge anymore because that game I have mixed feelings about. But
And instead of talking about Mirror's Edge, can we talk about Jaden Smith?
well,
Oh, that's
no.
even what?
What we can talk about.
Just dumb.
What we can talk about is the fact that Legend of Zelda, the original on the NES, is really hard too. If we want to talk about hard games. But
Yeah.
Let me tell you why it's hard. It's hard because the controls suck so bad. You have this world where you've got, it's like an XY plane 2D world where you're top-down view watching Link walk around, and you've got all this space, all this two-dimensional space you could be walking around in, but you have no diagonal controls. You can only go left, right, up, or down. So maneuvering to any given place is quite a chore, and if you're trying to fight enemies at the same time, it's stupid. It's really unintuitive the way that game works, and that's all I had to say about it, really. I tried to play it, and it made me mad, and Sam watched, and he watched me die a lot. So
I know Zelda buffs that beat that game ridiculously fast.
I'm sure that there are, but I've
never
saying it's hard.
I know Zelda buffs that don't realize that Zelda is the princess.
Here's the thing.
And are they really Zelda buffs?
They pretend.
Zelda, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so but unrelated to the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, I started playing Wind Waker on the GameCube recently, and that game is fun. I like that game. Okay, I've got problems with that game. It's the same problem I always have with Zelda games. It's the same problem I had with Ocarina of Time, which was that every time you pick up an effing item, it gives you the full dialogue box, explaining how to use it, what it is. I've picked up that item 50 times, and it gives me the full explanation of how to use it every time.
Stop picking up that item.
But I need it.
You need that item.
I need that item. It's
the
like
dungeon.
It's like, oh, I need a bomb.
Control your own life, Caleb.
I'm like,
Control
ooh,
your life.
there's a thing that needs to be blown up. I need to pick up a bomb. I pick up a bomb, and it's like, here's how you use bombs. It's like, I know, because I've done it 100
Does it
times.
even do that after you picked up a bomb for the first time?
Yes.
That's absurd.
It does it every time you pick up the item.
That's absurd.
It frustrates me greatly. And
Does
also,
Wind Waker assume that it's playing to... It's like being played by someone who has, like...
Short-term memory loss?
Yeah.
all the Zelda games, as far as I know, all of them that I've played do the same thing.
Well, here's the thing.
Link to the Past, or not, I didn't play Link to the Past. Ocarina of Time did it. I played like 5 minutes of Majora's Mask, and as far as I could tell, that was happening. But I don't know. It was a while ago. And then Wind Waker is doing it to me, and it's making me mad.
Skyward Sword doesn't do that. Once you learn an item, they assume that
Sword.
you're going to know it for the rest of the game.
That's cool. All you cool people with your Wiis, playing with your Wiis. I don't have a Wii.
Caleb?
We know you don't have a Wii.
I don't have a Wii, so I don't get to play Skyward Sword. And plus, I have it on good authority that Skyward Sword sucks.
I have a Wii, but I only let girls play it.
Oh, so you don't play it yourself?
No.
Oh, that's a
He
bummer.
doesn't need to.
Why'd you buy it?
So
He's got
girls,
girls to watch.
so girls
but-
should play it.
Oh,
I play my
see.
PS3,
Okay, I see. Well, anyway,
but girls play with my Wii.
I didn't play Skyward Sword. I did not play Skyward Sword, and we'll see if I ever do. So
If they make a computer emulator.
So there's that. There is one. It's called Dolphin.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm playing Wind Waker on. Because I have a
For
GameCube. No.
I'm talking about Wii emulators.
Dolphin plays GameCube and Wii games.
That's weird.
Because further proof that the Wii is just a GameCube.
With a different controller. That's it.
Because they already had the Dolphin emulator for GameCube, and then when the Wii came out, they were like 3 days later, they were like, oh, by the way, Dolphin now plays Wii games. It was like, they were like, we added a line of code, now you can play Wii games.
I bet that makes Nintendo executives feel like idiots.
Probably so, because they were like, no, nobody's ever going to notice that it's the same exact game console. No one will know. And it's like 5 minutes later, they're like, yeah, we didn't even have to change the emulator much. So there's that. Yeah, we'll see about playing Skyward Sword. But anyway, so speaking of things that I've been playing, I finally did it. I S-ranked Metal Gear Rising the whole game, and then I posted a picture on Facebook.
I saw that.
And
You were so proud of yourself.
I felt so good. And then Kevin, a former coworker of mine at CPR, had to poo-poo all over my parade. whenever he got on there, because he looked at the picture and he noticed that there were 5 enemies in the game that I didn't kill. He's like, 5 kills to go. What an asshole.
Shouldn't have moved.
Yeah, so anyway. But I S-ranked the whole game. I did it. So that felt good. And now I'm thinking about playing it again and trying to S-rank. Well, maybe. But more importantly, I want to S-rank it without using any power-ups. I want to do like a fresh, completely new game. No New Game Plus. Because that's how I played it. I played it New Game Plus and I had all my power-ups. And that was the only... As far as when I started that S-rank playthrough, that was the only realistic way that I was ever going to be able to successfully do it. I had to have my power-ups. But, I don't know. I might be able to do it without any power-ups. We'll see. We shall see.
Your obsession.
I would like to do a Let's Play of it, actually. I was gonna... This is something I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit, is if you'd be interested in trying to do a Let's Play where you guys watch and commentate while I play.
No, I was thinking I would play it since you have a problem. Maybe Sam should take the controls here.
No, I think I'll play it. I want to do
I
an
actually
S-rank
think that would be very entertaining because I expect Sam to be hilariously bad at Revengeance.
I'm sure that he will be.
I mean,
Maybe we
Yeah.
could do...
Dude,
Okay,
Caleb,
I've killed
Maybe we
7
could do-
bosses with Demon Souls. How many have you killed?
a couple.
Yeah. That's what
maybe
I
we
thought.
could do a
Couple?
side-by-side.
Did you get past the Tower Knight? Huh?
I did.
Did you?
I
That
did.
surprises me.
Side-by-side Let's Play of Metal Gear Rising. Sam playing and me
Actually,
playing.
that would be great.
What?
A side-by-side Let's Play.
You play, and I play. We see
Someone
how it goes.
obsessed with the game and then someone who's never played the game.
Yeah.
I'm actually not really
Considering
obsessed
that
with...
game is very punishing.
I wouldn't say that I'm obsessed with the game. I mean,
I would say you're obsessed
I don't
with the
really
game.
think about it. I don't really think about it or do anything involving the game until I finally sit down to play it. It's just an escape for me. An obsession would be if like I was thinking about it and drawing pictures of it and thinking about strategies whenever I wasn't playing
You
it.
spent this entire podcast trying to pull it into the podcast.
Not really. I kind of...
Not really.
It's just like one
Well,
of
it's
the
been
topics.
like 5 or 6 times you just mentioned it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have just ignored it.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
being
I was
very
tr-
oblivious.
I was
to your
trying.
obsession.
I was trying to get to Metal Gear Online. No, I
No
was
one
trying to get
knows
to
what
Metal
that
Gear
is.
Online.
No one knows what that is.
It's the new Metal Gear Online. It looks fun.
Yeah, no one.
Okay.
No one
I'm
knows
actually
that.
really sad because I played Metal Gear Online for MGS4 a lot, and it was really good. And then everyone left the servers.
Sounds
It's
about
because
right.
the new Call of Duty came out.
Yeah,
And,
it stopped being fun
and then
because
the
everyone
next
played
year-
MGS Online like Call of Duty, and the people that played it like Metal Gear completely destroyed all of those Call of Duty people.
Mhm.
And so I had a lot of fun playing that game online.
Okay, well, good luck. I mean, you're in luck. You're in luck because Metal Gear Online is coming back. It's coming back with Metal Gear Solid 5, and it's gonna be awesome.
That's exciting.
And there's gonna be fun activities. There's not a lot of details out. There was actually just like a gameplay video released. There's not a ton of details, but it looks like it's gonna be fun. And there's gonna be the ability for you to take selfies of restrained.
Jeez.
You're gonna be able, if you restrain an opponent, you're gonna be able to like take a selfie of it, and then you can post it. Like they're gonna have some way. I think you're gonna be able to post it to the Metal Gear Online social networking thing or something, and maybe you'll even be able to like post it up to Facebook or something like that. I don't
Is
know.
it like
I don't know if
Patriots book?
Is it 12-year-old girls and soccer moms?
No,
playing
it's
the
gonna
game?
be
I don't
awesome.
understand.
It's gonna be awesome. I would totally selfie people.
I'm gonna
Caleb's
slit this.
gonna-
I'm gonna slit this person's throat. But first, let me take a selfie.
Yeah, they got the in the video. They've got a video of Snake with Ocelot in a headlock, and he's like taking a picture. Snake is like smiling.
I actually saw that on Facebook.
Caleb's gonna have an entire album
it's
on
so
Facebook
great.
devoted to Metal Gear selfies.
So anyway, that's going to be fun. I don't really play online games much, but I would be interested in playing some Metal Gear Online because
An online game once.
first-person
Self-
shooters
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
mostly what people play, and I don't really like playing first-person shooters online.
Online games once. That's it.
One
Did you
time.
play some WoW?
At the same time,
Did you play some WoW?
No. No, one was Conan.
Conan
There was
O'Brien
No.
game?
O'Brien.
There was a Conan the Barbarian game that they made free online, and I was playing it. No one else was there because I was the only guy on Earth playing the game.
I actually remember when they were trying to advertise that.
Yeah, so they made it free for like the first 20 levels, but I was the only one playing. It was kind of sad because I was really having fun, and no one else was there to enjoy it until these two guys showed up and then killed me. And then I killed them, and I got punished because they were lower level ranking than me, even though I was just getting revenge murder on them. That was sad. That was annoying. The other online game I played was like a free to play first person shooter called something. I don't like to name drop on this.
Why?
I played that for a while. What?
Why don't you name drop so that people actually know what your interests are? Like, what's the point of listening to
So
this
no
podcast?
one's fine. It's called Alliance of Valiant Arms. It's a free to play first person shooter from Korea. That's actually kind of fun. But I don't like online games, so I didn't play it too much. But when I did play it, I was like, hey, this is kind of fun. And then people loved me because I wasn't awful. I wasn't bad, and that's the only time I ever felt accepted by anyone.
Did you ever play Star Wars: The Old Republic? That's free.
No. Wait, I played a Star Wars game. That was a... No, it wasn't that.
No, I'm talking about the Old Republic that came out like a couple of years ago, not Knights of the Old Republic that came out like 10 years ago.
No, I didn't play that one.
That one's free now. It was a paid subscription one, and it didn't work out because nobody paid for it, so it's free to play now.
Think about starting this World of Warcraft thing.
No.
I don't like online games. I don't like playing with other people. When
Too many hoes.
When I play a game, I want to either play with Caleb, Matt, or myself.
Or me.
Yeah, that's
Or
how I
Caleb,
feel.
Matt. Yeah.
I tend to want to play with either me, myself, or Matt.
What an asshole.
Sometimes I play with Sam.
You're like Silent Hill. How's that treating you?
Well, since I don't have it, it's not really treating me.
Do you want me to mail you the memory card?
No, I think I should just start over, and I think we should do a Let's Play
Okay,
where I play and you watch.
that sounds fine. And then me and Matt will criticize you because we've played the game.
Yep.
Like, that loser. He didn't shoot that monster. What a loser.
Yeah, we'll see. I really liked that game. Like, even as a PlayStation 1 game, it was... It really gives you a genuine sense of dread. You just dread everything that's happening in that. It's not... And people are like... You know, some people think that, like, older games couldn't... How could that possibly be scary? Because the graphics are so bad.
Man, that's not
That
true.
doesn't really have anything to do with the sense of dread and the sense of like helplessness that you get by the game due to the game mechanics. Like Silent Hill, you really you're just terrified of every room, every corner you're gonna go around because you just know not that something's going to jump out at you and you're going to be like, ah! It's like, you have no ammo, and you have no health, and you're going to die. And you just know it. And you're like,
Yeah.
ugh, what kind of horrors, what kind of horrors await me around this corner?
That's something about older games. Like, there was a guy in high school who always criticized because, like, how can that game be good? Its graphics are terrible. System Shock 2 is probably the most terrifying game I've ever played.
I'd like to point out that System Shock 1 is terrifying. And that game is even older.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrifying because, like, the atmosphere is so creepy. And, like... And
The music is...
friggin' Shodan's voice comes on, and you're like, what is this? Shodan's terrifying. I've never played System Shock 2, but...
It's terrifying because, like, the creatures, you'll be walking down the hallway, you'll hear from down the hallway somewhere, someone screaming, I'm sorry, I can't help myself. And then someone with like a worm sticking out of their head. with a crowbar comes running at you, and you're like, what the hell? Then you don't have any ammo. That game, you have no ammo to do anything at all. Or you might hear a robot saying, everything is secure. We must make sure everything is secure. And you can't kill robots because you don't have ammo.
I actually watched you play that game, and from an outside perspective, someone that didn't have their hands at the controls, I was pretty freaked out.
Yeah, the atmosphere in that.
There were no stakes. The stakes were extremely low for you. You weren't even playing.
No, I had nothing to risk.
Like, the story was, I don't know, it was just scary. Like, it wasn't dark. It wasn't even particularly violent. It was just everything with that music and the atmosphere.
It was all very awkward.
Yeah.
Oh man, so System Shock 1 is like you were saying, it's not very dark or anything. Dude, System Shock 1 is like Technicolor, like lit up neon Technicolor explosion, and it is terrifying.
Uh-huh.
It's
And
like
then
that has like this because the atmosphere, it's not that it's a dark spooky atmosphere, it's that the atmosphere is so like vibrant, and then so all of the mayhem and the terrifying situation that you're in is like amplified by the colorful, bright, vibrant environment that you're in. It's weird.
Yeah. I agree with you. Then someone like the same kid at school was arguing that BioShock was the most scary game ever. Like, BioShock? I don't know.
BioShock wasn't scary.
Yeah.
It had moments, but it was mostly just a fun game. Fun actiony game. It was scary. It had scary moments. I won't discredit BioShock, but it was not on the level of what we're talking about here. But anyway, so I feel like I'm kind of carrying the podcast right now. What's going on, guys?
Sorry. We were having a little inside conversation back here.
Yeah.
Back to the shocking games. So there's a game out there called Doom 3 that a lot of people say is the most terrifying game ever. And I find it one of the most boring games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Doom 3 sucks.
Isn't it just like a jump scare party? Like, that's all?
Yeah.
That's the only trick. It's a one-trick pony, and that trick is jump scares.
Yeah. In fact, I jumped down an vent one time and looked back with my flashlight into a dark corner and thought, hey, there's a monster there. Turned around and thought to myself, I bet there's a monster there now. And turned back, and guess what I found? A monster. Mm-hmm. Oh, let's throw some spiders in there. That'll scare him. Yeah,
well,
right.
It did scare you because you're scared of
Shot
monsters.
spiders.
You're scared of spiders.
Yeah, that's fine. And with upside-down skulls, who the hell designs that? What kind of sick Satanist freaks are designing? No, but Doom 3 sucks. And so does that one game that came out that also sucks. You know the one, Matt.
That's a lot of games.
How about
Deep
Doom
Space.
4?
Is it called Deep Space?
No, Dead Space. Come on.
Dead
Dead
Space.
Space.
That game sucked, too.
Yeah, that game was also predictable jump scares.
Oh, Dead Space sucks.
Well,
I don't know. I was pretty freaked out and uncomfortable over the first Dead Space.
Yeah, but a lot of things freak you out. The snake behind you freaks
I
you
played
out.
the demo
I
of
know
Dead Space.
Snakes freak me out. I'm just not fond of them.
Snakes
we
freak
just-
you out.
It didn't
Can we
freak me
just
out.
mention the fact that Audrey has been out and roaming around, but not actually roaming around this entire time?
Audrey is.
If you don't
a-
remember, yeah, Audrey's a lizard of some sort.
I didn't listen to the last podcast. Did you edit that out or leave that in?
Oh, that's in there. Audrey's
It is in there? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you remember, listener, Mom, Audrey is the lizard that. Yeah. And
Cause shenanigans.
I let her out of her cage like 6 hours ago, and she just sits in the same spot the
I don't
entire
think
time.
she realizes that she's no longer in a cage.
She has no idea. She's just chilling out on her log, watching us do this podcast. No idea she has complete roam of the entire room.
Wait, did you take her log out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's just sitting in the same place she would normally be sitting, except for not in a cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Well, that lets you know that she doesn't know what freedom is, which lets you know that they don't let her out enough.
Well, even when you do let her out, she just goes and hides behind a dresser or something. She goes and sits in the corner, licks the wall.
That makes
Does
She's
sense.
that.
not very thrilling. She doesn't really explore her possibilities as a lizard.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well,
So, moving right along.
so speaking of things that are unfortunate, I just wanted to mention how a beer that I had recently.
Was it Sam Adams?
No. Well, I did have a Sam Adams Winter Lager recently, and it was good.
Those are good. Those
Yeah.
are yummy.
Are they
That is
actually-
a good beer.
Yeah.
Sam
Winter
Adams?
Lager's pretty good.
Sam Adams is a good beer. And
Yeah.
apparently a great guy.
Sam Adams Boston Lager is...
Sam Adams
good.
isn't a guy. Beer isn't people, Sam.
Or those... You don't know. I was confused because I didn't realize that Sam Adams, or I had forgotten Sam Adams was a real person.
Yeah.
He's a real guy.
He's a real guy.
And
A
then
rabble rouser.
yeah, some folk on Facebook don't quite get the humor in realizing this, and they're, yeah, Sam Adams, you're a great man. He started the revolution.
Yeah,
Well,
you made that.
sounds like beer to me. I mean, let's instigate. Let's,
Oh, beer. Starting
instigate
the
'em.
American Revolution.
yeah, seriously.
Well, anyway, I had this beer that is called St. Bernardus St. Bernardus Abbot 12, and I will review it as such, or thusly, the best beer I ever drank. That is my review.
That's bold words.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of beer was it?
It is a quadruple from Belgium.
What?
A quadruple. I don't. Okay, so have you ever heard of a double or a triple?
No.
Beers.
Like shots?
No. It's a beer. It's a type of
Okay.
beer. Okay. There's double and then there's triple. These are all Belgian beers.
Like
and then they
really
have
big shot
a
glasses?
quadruple. No, it's
Hey,
a
hey,
type of
before we-
beer.
Before we continue on here, what was the beer called again? Because I have a little beer app on my phone that I've been adding beers to. Because you say that's the best beer you have had, but a fellow beer connoisseur, a mutual friend of ours, who is one of the originators of the White Trash Voltaire show, who may be a guest appearance on here later in the show, says that he's had a different beer that's the best beer he's ever had, and he has
I feel like
drank.
this is very like
Well,
objective.
his tastes are not the same as my tastes. I would say, based on the beers that we have mutually disagreed on being quality. So
I think all three of us have agreed that Midas Touch is one of the best beers we've ever had.
it's good.
Have
It's
you guys
really
had
good.
Midas Touch?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a really
like wine.
ancient.
It's an ancient.
Yeah, like
Uh,
an ancient recipe. Like that's a
it's-
really old.
It's
like,
brewed
original.
very similar to a barley mead.
It's like wine bread.
Yeah.
It is.
It's wine and then it's bread, in that order.
Hey, question. What was that beer called again? Because I'm adding it to my list on my app here.
It's called St. Bernardus Abbot 12. Best beer I ever drank.
Got it. I will add that to my list of best beers of all time to drink.
Before you
it's
go any
expensive.
further on,
like $12 per bottle.
I will spend $12 on that.
But it's like
Bef-
the size bottle. It's like the huge bottle, like the Trader Joe's vintage ale sized bottle.
Oh my gosh, it's almost that time of year again. If not, it is that time of year again.
before you go any
Wonderful
further, my current beer that I am freaking out over is Three Floyd's Gumball Head.
Okay, everybody tells
no.
me about Gumball Head. I've never had it.
Have you not had it yet?
No, but like every person is like crazy about Three Floyd's Gumball Head.
It is not overhyped. I can officially say that.
You know what is overhyped though? Three Floyd Zombie Dust.
Have you had it?
Yeah, overhyped.
Really?
Yeah, it's an American ale.
I thought it was disgusting.
She thought it was awful.
That's sad.
I drank
It
the
was
entire
so gross.
22-ounce glass I bought.
My lust over Zombie Dust is that I haven't had it yet, and I know that it's very highly rated. But Gumball Head, however, I have had, and I can say that it's very, very delicious.
Yeah, but here's the thing: a lot of people say IPAs are good beer,
I hate IPAs.
but that's a huge popular beer.
It's one of the most popular beers in America.
It's the British. The British are to blame.
They are.
Damn Brits.
But they're like, hey, let's take this pea and then make it and then just call it beer. Like, no.
Well,
that's
what
pea.
happened
That's
was
pea.
it's called an Indian Pale Ale for a reason.
I read the Wikipedia page too.
Okay. I'm glad that you and I both have poorly informed.
What happened was that Britain. What happened was that Britain was trying to export beer to India, but they found out that the beer tasted awful whenever it got there. So they ended up just saying, "That's what it's supposed to taste like, India Pale Ale."
Well, no,
horrible.
actually, what I was informed was that the beer was arriving stale, and so that they changed the way that the hops was introduced, and
Yeah,
on the way
yeah.
over, they put the
mine
hops.
was a joke. Mine was
Oh,
a
okay.
joke that the beer was awful tasting when it got there, and they were like, "Yep, that's how it's supposed to taste. Here you go, India."
Well, I didn't know that, but it's a reasonable thing to assume because it tastes like butt. See, that's why I took it so seriously.
Not the right type of human refuse.
It's not
We're
butt.
talking-
It
it's
tastes
not
like.
butt.
It's piss.
Do you
Piss.
like?
It really
Do you
is.
like butt, Caleb? Would you
No.
prefer butt taste over
Well,
pee?
I
Is that what you-
didn't say that.
No.
All I'm saying is
You
that
prefer
Just get it right.
Would you
Matt.
prefer a brown ale?
Shut up, man. It's just
Just get it right. We would just
if something
prefer-
comes along that does taste like butt. I mean, you're gonna. I mean,
It wouldn't be an
You
IPA.
wouldn't
Yeah.
call it
no,
piss.
it would be something different. Different.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, we have run extraordinarily long, like
yes.
way long. So I'm gonna have to call this podcast done. But if you've got any closing remarks, now would be the time to say them.
I feel like I wish I had done my hair before we did the podcast because I feel like people listening now are gonna know that I didn't do my hair.
Yeah, I feel like that if you had not told them that, they wouldn't have noticed.
No, I feel like they could sense it in my voice.
He got a really great haircut.
I just didn't do anything with it today.
To be honest, Sam was contemplating doing this whole podcast in a hockey mask because he was very concerned of listeners knowing his identity.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Yeah.
bat.
Sometimes I feel like that Sam doesn't think so much about the things that he's planning on doing. Well, anyway, so hey Matt, where can we find you on the social networks?
You-
Caleb,
Yeah.
you're an angel right now.
Huh?
You're our angel.
You're an angel.
Oh, why?
For the listeners who can't see what's going on right now, Caleb's light in his room, the ceiling fan above his head, is casting the most glorious.
Actually, can we screen cap this right now and make it the image for this upload, this
Sure.
episode that's
Just
happened?
screen cap it. Get it.
I don't know how to do that.
Get it.
It's-
Make it full screen and then just
You say it like you know what to do.
yeah, I do actually.
Do you?
Click
Let's
out
do
of
it.
that. Just click out of that.
Sorry, listeners, but
what you need to do is you need to hit Control Print Screen
Yeah, That's
and then paste it into Paint or something and save it.
Sam's keyboard is awkward and it only has the F keys, and I'm not sure which one is print.
what's right there where it says print?
Okay.
Okay.
Which Sam can't even
Oh, it
find
says
right now.
Sam also can't.
It says
find.
PRTSC.
Yeah, that's
Duh.
okay.
Hold on.
I-
Duck down a little bit. Just a little bit. Just lower your head. A little bit
There
more.
we go. Good.
That's going on Facebook.
Okay. Now you just need to
Anyhow,
go into paint and
You
and
are an
copy that.
angelic symbol of all that is holy right now.
All right, Matt, where can we find you on the social networks?
You can find me on Facebook at Matthew Vehemity, and then you can find me on Twitter also at Matthew Vehemity.
And where can we find your band, Romanticide?
You can find my band at on Facebook as Romanticide, and then on Twitter as Romanticide Band, and then on all online stores such as iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Beats, anywhere.
You're on Beats.
We are.
That's so cool.
I know.
Can people instant stream you without buying your music?
You can. Spotify and Beats both.
Do that, guys. Don't buy the music. That's a ripoff.
Yeah, don't do that. We still get some sort of money from you listening to us a whole bunch.
No, buy their music. They need it. They need the money. Hey Sam, where can we find you on the social networks?
I am on Facebook and Twitter.
Cool. So where can what can we type into those respective sites to find you?
I'm not quite
No
sure.
idea.
Okay.
Maybe on the next episode you'll find out where you can find me.
Okay, Stephanie, where can we find you on the social networks?
I'm pretty much SizChick3431 on all social networks.
You should follow her. I'm sure she has some things to post about like pictures of dogs with like various different
Lots of
clothing
wieners.
items.
Everyone
Sometimes she
loves a
posts
girl
pictures
posting
of like
pictures.
food that she's making, which she's good at that.
Yummy food.
She's good at that. And generally she just does like what normal people thinks because she's not really a online personality. She's just a person.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I do just want to interject one thing here real quick. Can we talk about the fact that they're wanting to sue the makers of the AR-16?
The what?
Or
The
which
makers
one?
of the
Whichever one was
the
in
Who's of Watson?
the Sandy Hook. They're wanting to sue the makers of the gun that killed
man.
the kids. in
This
Sandy
is
Hook
taking a
elementary
turn.
school. Okay, I just want to say that I want to sue the makers of spoons for making me fat. That's all I want to say. I think it's the most ridiculous thing ever.
Dang. You know
I don't
who
find
you
my
should
wife
sue?
fat. I find her perfectly
You,
sized.
you should sue the hospital that almost killed you.
I think so too. I think I should recoup some of my losses. I'm
I
just
know.
saying it's
I would like to
ridiculous.
sue Sugar for making me want to go to
Diabetes?
sleep early
Well,
after I eat
no,
it.
okay, so there's this hospital that almost killed Stephanie, and I think she should sue them.
And she says that she thinks that, but every time I bring it up, she says, no, it's fine. No, they scratched her eyeball and made her blind in one eye. Yes, she had an eye patch. Yes, they made for some funny Facebook pictures, but they almost killed her.
Guys, I'm not blind and I didn't almost die. It's okay.
You should
But
sue
I
them.
would like some of that money back.
Yeah. So, okay, so anyway, and then you can find me on. You can't find me. I don't.
You can find him in Arkansas. Just go
Yeah,
down there
okay.
and ask for Caleb
Dickerson.
Dickerson.
They'll
Yeah.
know who you're talking about.
Find me in Arkansas. There's not very many people here, so it won't be very hard.
It's a big area with few people.
And most of them can't read, so ask for Caleb Dickerson who reads well.
And they'll say, oh, you mean that one guy who
I
has the
wouldn't-
computers?
I
He
wouldn't
works at
necessarily
Barnes
say
Noble.
well. I wouldn't say I read well. That might be a stretch. I read adequately. All right.
You really
well,
need to get a Twitter and other things.
we'll see about it.
Instagram. Oh, you can find me on Instagram. I'm your pallbearer is what my handle is on Instagram.
Yeah, that's
if you like pictures of lizards and snakes, follow me. And sometimes fish. Follow me. It's I'm your pallbearer. I am your pallbearer. Is what I'm called.
I'm your pall bearer.
All
Can
right.
we get that one more time for those who may not have caught it?
I am your pallbearer.
Okay.
That's on Instagram.
Instagram, not Twitter or anything else. Just
Inst-
Instagram.
Instagram at I may or may not be your pallbearer.
All right. So I think
It
that's
depends if you invite
it.
people.
I think that's it for this week. So so come listen to us next week. Maybe.
We're in like 2 weeks.
No, hopefully next week. Come listen to us next week on the White Trash Voltaire podcast. See ya. Bye.
Now he's swimming. He's not even waving.
Oh,
He's waving at Mojito.
let me end the call.
No, don't do that. We should hang out some more.